Good morning, guys. How are you today?
Good.
Awesome. So today we are going to talk about, well, I should say we're going to be expanding on our unit on the water cycle. So you guys have already done the water cycle. So evaporation, condensation, precipitation, right? So we've already been there, done that. And so my biggest question is, do you know where your water comes from when you turn on your faucet at home? Yes.
Tank.
A tank? Okay.
No, underground.
Yes.
Isn't
Underground.
where we get our water, like, you know where there's like a four-way by the high school?
Mm-hmm.
You know that one big tank? Is that where we get the water?
Okay. Yes.
From a well.
Oh, well.
Stream or lake or from
Yeah. So, yes.
From the tank
Yes, that is true.
of a
So,
nuke.
so, all of those answers are actually correct because of something called a watershed. So, has anyone ever heard the word of a watershed? Yeah? We got a couple people that have heard of a watershed. Okay,
No.
so a watershed is any area of land where the water moves from the land to rivers or lakes to smaller streams and then to the bay or to the ocean. So the whole process of a watershed is for the water to move and to run from a small body of water to a large body of water like the ocean. So can we drink ocean water?
No.
No.
Yes.
Directly.
So how much of the world is made up of ocean water? Yes.
Like 92?
Okay.
Did you know if you boil water over a top, if it's salt water, then you could drink it if you boil it?
Yep, that is correct. Yes.
And then you get salt off the
About
sides.
78% of the world, 75% of the world is ocean.
Look
Yes.
under the water.
I would
What's at the
think,
very bottom?
like she was saying, like 70-ish%.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not crazy.
97% of the water on this entire earth is in the ocean, which is salt water, which you cannot drink.
What is under
Only
the water?
3% of the water on this entire planet is fresh water. So the three places that water comes from, I will call you in 1 second, is from glaciers, surface water, and groundwater. So groundwater is what you were talking about when you said a well, right? And surface water is gonna be the water when you were talking about a tank or some sort of holding area, yes,
Or a lake,
or a lake. So a lake,
or a pond, or
yep, that's all surface water. And then there's groundwater. And so groundwater is like all the aquifers and things like that that happen. And then you have glaciers, which are on the top of Mount Baker. And so the bad thing is, most of our water is trapped in the glaciers. If the glaciers melt, then we die, right? So we don't have all of this fresh water that we could have. So that's why protecting your watershed is so very important, because that's where all your water theoretically comes from. So, yes.
My papa's friend actually had a watershed. Their water system was in a shed, so it was
Yes.
a watershed.
Yes, play on words, I will accept it. So, a watershed is an area of land that drains all of the streams, rainwater, and it makes like a common outlet that will go to a bay or an ocean. So, water quality. Does your water quality matter?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? You can just answer.
Blood water.
You can get sick from the bacteria and germs in the water.
Yeah.
The glacier germs from a long time ago.
Yeah. Fossil poop. Yeah. That poisons you too. So, there's all sorts of different contaminants. Yes.
I was gonna say 80% for it because everyone kept saying 70.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 80% is really close though. Yeah. So there are many different types of contamination. There's chemical contamination, biological contamination, and physical contamination. So, do you want your water to look like that?
No.
So pollution can come from a whole bunch of different places. It can come from factories. Hold on 1 second, I'll call on you. It can come from factories. It can come from farms. It can come from you throwing your trash out your window or throwing cigarette butts out of the window when you're driving in your car. including sewage. And another thing, dog poop. So many people don't pick up their dog poop, and that is
Basically fertilizer.
yes, but it's poisonous fertilizer because it's not clean, it's not filtered out. So, which is another thing we're going to talk about. So, this is your water cycle, and we've gone over this before. So,
And also
this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and so that's why water quality is so important. Hold on one second. So, when you get your water in your faucet, your water is transported from an aquifer or a tank or something like that. It goes to your house, you poop in the toilet, you flush, and then it goes to the water treatment plant. So, there are chemical processes, physical and biological. When we talk about biological ones, we're talking about bacteria and things that you would add to the water that basically kind of eats all the germs. Chemical is what they do at this station in the process. So there's coagulation, folliculation, sedimentation, and then there's filtration. So when your poop and stuff goes to the treatment factory, it doesn't just go through one filtration, it goes through all three processes. So that's why your water takes so long, and some days it tastes like a pool. So there's runoff, agricultural runoff from fertilizers, there's cows that poop in all your water all day. That one on the lower left, that's an algae bloom. So algae is dangerous for waterways because it sucks all of the oxygen out of the water. And if I were you, I wouldn't want to be one of these very sad people that have to drink through life straws or bathe in the same water as cows. Or live in China like the lower right one where a factory is poisoning you all day. So, can we clean up our waterways?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are some ways we can clean up our waterways? Yes.
Recycle and
Yep.
throw away our trash properly.
Yep. Yes.
It was kind of like this when you were saying, like, throwing out your cigarette butts.
Mhm.
I know, somebody did, and it caused a huge fire on one of the mountains sort of close by the Central Pass.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't bring in things for chemical or biological filtration just because it's kind of dangerous for you guys at this age. But I did bring things in for physical filtration. So today we are going to go ahead and filter our own polluted water with a filtration system that you create yourself on your own using regular household items. So remember, when we do this activity, this water is not drinkable. Do not drink this. It has not been chemically or biologically filtered, and you might get a parasite or two if you do drink it. So we're gonna go ahead and break up into groups. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and break up into groups, and we're gonna do the activity. If you guys have any questions about anything, just let me know. I'll be coming around. And make sure that when you're looking at your KWL charts, that you fill in the what I observe section during the activity, okay? And I've already given you guys the vocabulary, so that should be filled out. And at the end of the lesson, we'll go ahead and talk about what we've learned, okay? Yes.
Where do you get the sand?
Where do I get the sand? I bought the sand, and you can use any type of sand as long as it's clean.
Like if
So.
you cook it.
Yes, exactly. So any other questions before we start the
Or
activity?
freeze it.
No. Alrighty, so I'm gonna have you guys break up into 3 separate groups, and then we'll get started on the activity, okay?